Hey, what's happening, everybody? Ceremonial Witch here again with some more Ceremonial Witchcraft for you. I forget where I left yesterday, but I'm just going to kind of leave it at that for the moment. I know I said I was going to get into the manifestation and exactly what I did, and I am. I plan on doing it right after I do this one and releasing it as well after this one today. But balance in all things is definitely key for manifesting things. Hence why I was stressing the importance of doing the Kabbalah and this great work of self-transformation book, the curriculum in there, doing the rituals, making your circle in your temple, and doing the banishing, lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram and the middle pillar. You open up, you do your circle, you do your Kabbalistic cross, you do your lesser banishing ritual. After that, I would do the invocation of the angels, part of that, and then you do the middle pillar. And when you're ready to start asking and doing rituals, that's when you do your ritual, and then you would do the banishing pentagram again. This is how I do it. And then your Kabbalistic cross, and then you close your circle. And all that. Now you say hi to the watchers, and then bye to the watchers in a specific way that I'll get into, but you can find that information on Birch's channel, and you can find the other information on Mind and Matic channel. Maybe not the actual how to do the Kabbalistic cross, but the PDF is online for that book, free. I'm pretty sure you can find it because I know I did, which I do believe in promoting these guys that give us the information, and that's kind of what I want to get into today. If you are like me and you find these books and get this information for free and you haven't bought any products off these people, I said this a bit in either my first or my second video, that I go on their thing, I give them like subscriptions, and I've even done rituals saying I know I haven't supported Freighter or Freak Phil or Uncle Birch financially, but I want to send them energy or fans or subscriptions or money or whatever. I make a ritual. I'm not going to go exactly how I do that, and that'd be left up to you, but I actually do something to provide or give them something, and I'll leave comments, positivity, and I will tell people about other channels, and that's how I'll provide feedback, positive feedback for them and stuff like that, just to show my gratitude. Now, I'm a father of 2 biological children and 2 stepchildren, and I want to talk about my oldest stepson, who is a baseball player, like I said, and he plays on the traveling team. And I think I talked about him before, maybe that last year, his team didn't do so well, but he got MVP player of the game more than anybody has ever gotten in traveling team league. And he hit it over the fence, not even just over the fucking fence, out of the park home runs, over center field, the furthest spot you can hit it. He did that. I want to say, he told me the exact number because I got it wrong. I think I said that number anyways. I said 7, I think he said 8. But anyways, 7 or 8 times over the fence. And I mean, there's pitchers in this league that are throwing the ball 90 miles an hour. So I mean, that's a pretty big feat. And I want to talk about, because last time I got into the paradigms and program that's put in our head. And as a child, if you're only told you're not going to amount to anything, or even if your parents were very loving and kind and said you can do anything you want, but as you got older, if you started having a dream, let's use baseball for an example, or hockey, because I'm in Canada, hockey is prominent, but you're playing hockey and you want to be a hockey star, and your parents say, I hope you do become a hockey star, but the odds are you probably won't, so you should do something else because you probably aren't going to get there. And as much as that is realistic and all that, I kind of say you shouldn't do that, and that's just my opinion. Now, I know my wife still does that, and when she's around me, she will not do that. Because I don't believe in that, because your children, no matter what you say and prepare them for, are going to get their hopes up and are going to get those crushed probably at some point. Why do they need to hear that from you? Now, we already manufacture that shit whenever we do the whole Santa Claus thing, which is so hard on them. It's crushing, and we kind of just go along with that because that's society, but we don't have to break their heart like this. There are better ways to say that. My oldest son, before I got into this, always wanted that. And I have said that same shit that my wife says to him that I don't like. That, you know what? Our chances that you may not make it there, especially baseball. There's not that many baseball players. We don't live in Toronto, which is the only baseball team in Canada, is the Toronto Blue Jays. So the odds are, but I changed that. I changed that up. And I tell him, you know what, Austin, if this is what you want to do, then you can do it. But when I do the realistic thing by telling him, sit at home playing video games all winter long instead of exercising, and then in the summer only going to your practices and not doing any training, and then just hoping you're going to be a baseball player, may not cut it. I'm not saying you can't, I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm like, certainly you need to have that thought and believe in what you're going to do and really go for it. But taking steps of action is crucial to that. And if you watch the Mind and Magic channel on YouTube, Frederick Xavier, he'll go into the Kabbalistic tree of life and showing you how manifesting works using the Sephiroth on the tree of life, which is a great explanation. But you can get it out of the books, the Golden Dawn books, the Israel Regardie books of the Tree of Life. I can't think of the titles, but I have them all and I read them all, and they're great. And he'll say you have to put forth action. Doing your ritual to get what you want is part of that action, and it is a little step of action. And just doing that, you can manifest things. Now, he also, this is a quote right from his channel, he says that there are books that say you can manifest anything you want, but it's got to be in the realm of possibility, and you can't just stay at home and manifest something without going outside. And he says that's bullshit, because he can, and he actually gives a sigil on there. And spoilers, the sigil is to manifest an orange ball in your yard. But he didn't release that information. And if you go through the series, you'll see a bunch of people sending in mail actually manifesting that ball with the sigil he put, and not even telling people what that sigil was for. So without anybody doing anything but making a sigil, charging it, releasing it, stop thinking about it, it literally manifested. And I fucking did it too. My kids have lots of orange balls. I have basketballs. They're always in the yard, all right? Now, I did it when I knew what the ball was. But I got a tiny little plastic orange basketball in the corner of my yard that was not mine. I'm on the corner of a street, and I mean, it's possible someone shot in there, but it doesn't matter how they got there. That was none of my children's balls, and it happened. So the point I'm trying to stress at, there's a couple points I'm trying to make. One, if you're a parent, okay, and if you're doing magic and you want to reprogram your mind, well, what I'm trying to get at right now is do it, reprogram your mind, understand that you got programmed by your parents and everybody around you as a child, but at the same time, if you have children and you're putting in the wrong programming in their mind, I wouldn't expect your magic to work all that well either. Now, it certainly can, and it certainly probably will, and the other point I was getting at with the gratitude and showing gratitude without actually having to spend money. Now, if you have the money, I do suggest supporting these people, anybody that has helped you. And, everything is a cycle. What money you put out, it will come back to you, okay? Have faith in that, and I promise you it works. I can give you examples of how that's worked for me, just doing that without even any magic. But another way to show gratitude and give back is to insert the right beliefs in your children. The same ones you want inside you, put them in your children, all right? Tell your kid that he can be a baseball star. Tell your kid he can be a hockey star or an artist or a musician. And you know what? Don't worry about the realism, because teachers and all that are going to tell them that at school. And if you want to have a great relationship with your child, you be that person that believes in them and gives them hope. When everybody else is saying, get your head out of the clouds and be grounded, you're the one uplifting them. And I mean, especially if it's an art form or if it's a sport, at least they're off the video games and outside doing something or expressing themselves in art. Whether or not they actually make it to what they want to do or not is irrelevant. They're doing something that is helping them, empowering them, forming their mind, their brain. They're using their intuition, using their expression. They're using their brain. They're developing it instead of just listening to music, playing video games. And nothing against that stuff. I mean, it certainly can be fun, and you can make fun out of it with your children, playing with them. But you want them to do something great, and that's a great way to give back and to prove to yourself, to also help reprogram your mind. Because if you're reinforcing it in your child and you're saying it to your child, it's going to get in your head too. Even if in your mind you're programmed to not believe that you can get that, and you have to be real and you have to work a job and have a shitty life. If you keep telling your kid that that's not true and that they can do what they want, but they have to really want it, work hard at it, and truly believe in it. And when someone tells you that they can't do it, to say, that's your opinion, but I don't believe that, and I'll prove you wrong. And even if they don't have to say that out loud, they can say it to themselves, and they just gotta. All I have to do, I have to hold that thought in there, because I'm telling you right now, by empowering my stepson, okay, like he is a talented kid, he is great at that sport, but the year before last year, okay, he didn't even make the traveling team. And he was down. And we blamed it on the politics and the fact that kids' parents were volunteers, because there was kids that, in my opinion, and I'm biased because he's my stepson and I love him and I want him to make the team. So I thought other kids shouldn't have made the team, but their parents helped out, whereas we were too busy with our other 3 kids to go down there and clean up the fields and all that. So we blamed it on the politics and all that. But truth be told, he may have not made that team just because he wasn't as good that year. And that whole time he was playing only the house league, I told him, you know what, that coach that didn't let you make the team, the best way to get back at him, Austin, is to not get mad, not get down on yourself and think you're not good. You know you're good. I know you're great. You're going to make that team next year, and it'll be your choice whether to make it or turn it down. But the best way to tell him that he did something wrong is to play the fucking best you've ever played. And he actually did that in the house league, and then halfway through the year, that team sucked, and they asked him to play on the traveling team. The year he didn't make the traveling team, he got called to the team halfway through the year to play because they were doing terrible. And he was the pitcher. He was the main pitcher at that point. So, reinforcing these ideas in his head and him believing it, and him, instead of getting down on himself, and this is all without any magic or ritual. This is just pure belief. Someone helping him. I believed in it. He believed in it, and it fucking happened. And the following year, he made the team, and he hit fucking 7 or 8 home runs over the fence. Player of the game, struck I don't know how many people out. Now, his ball wasn't 90 miles an hour, but he was at 70. I think he hit 79 miles an hour, the highest point in that year. So, their team didn't do as good as my 90 mile an hour team, and that team was, fortunately, the team from Toronto, where we're only 50,000 people here in Cornwall, whereas Toronto is 1 million and some. But my point is, the kids on the Toronto team didn't hit it over the fence, but my boy fucking did. And that's the difference. I was practicing magic, but I didn't do any magic to help him hit it over the fence. I didn't do none of that. All I did was truly believe that he could do that. And I wanted him to do that, and he did it. And he had faith in himself. Now, he's got a bit of an ego, and it's pretty inflated because of that. And as someone else told me, because I said that to somebody, unfortunately, it kind of went to his head and all that. They said, fuck it, let it go to his head. He's going to have plenty of time to be let down by life. And which is, unfortunately, most likely the truth. Unless you get into magic. Once you get into magic and you do this shit, you're not let down by life. You're excited to wake up and to see what you can do fucking every day. And that's the message of this video. And it's just a way to show your gratitude back. Gratitude is the attitude of success. Gratitude brings you stuff. By being grateful for the limits on your life, for all the bullshit, for the shitty fucking people, the shitty situations. When you say thank you to Saturn or God or the universe or the devil, whoever you worship, whether it's Hecate or fucking any pagan deity, any magic deity, witchcraft deity, whatever it is you believe in. When you say thank you for all the shitty people that came in my life, maybe not using shitty, but all the people in my life that helped me get to where I am today, for all those lessons that I learned from those bad circumstances. I love you and I appreciate you. When you actually feel the emotion in your heart because you actually truly realize that, you will start changing those paradigms. You will start manifesting what you want as you want it. You don't have to do ritual for none of this shit. It helps. It certainly speeds everything up. It's the difference between having to do affirmations every day 1,000 times to just doing one ritual a day. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, it's, I can't think of a great correspondent or metaphor for it right now, but it speeds up the process, like shopping online, you get whatever you want, but you got to wait for it. Go to the store, you get what you want and you bring it home that day. That's the difference. Affirmation is going to take more time. Just doing visualizing affirmation is going to take more time. But when you put all these things together, if you add hypnosis, self-hypnosis with your ritual, and you put meditation and affirmation on top of it, my God, you're going to reprogram your mind in no time. You're going to manifest shit in no time. Now, self-transformation, unfortunately, takes time no matter what. But it will take less time the more of these things you can implement. And I get it. People are busy. I get it. But everything happens for a reason. The first time I manifested something was without all of this. I lost my job, which I thought was a bad thing at the time. I got the 10 grand I asked for. I eventually got the second car I asked for. I got the time home with my baby, and I have all the time in the world to practice magic. And I'm at home, and I'm still paying my mortgage, and I'm still paying my 2 cars. So if you're scared that may happen to you, if it does happen, don't worry.